All right, guys, welcome to episode 21 of the Different Animals Podcast. It's your boy, Tyler.
And I'm Ever Castro.
And today, we're going to talk about what we've been watching as usual, songs we wish were longer, a certain acquisition by a certain gaming company, and some of these Marvel movies, and I guess just Disney releases kind of all across the board, right? But first, all right, so let's just start with what we've been watching. And I'm going to go ahead and get mine out of the way, which is that I haven't watched much, but I've watched like 2 more episodes of Avatar The Last Airbender. I'm slowly fucking trucking through this one. But I'm still interested. I haven't slowed down really. It's just been slow from the get. So, still liking everything I'm seeing in that. But what have you been watching?
Nice, awesome. So I finished watching the show Normal People, which I think I mentioned last week or the week before.
Yeah, that was like your like teenage drama,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And it was good. Sort of the same thing that I mentioned last week, where like the performances are so good and the two characters are so good and they're so good together. But then what the plot puts them through, I'm just kind of like, oh my god, like okay.
Like this is the best you could come up with.
Yeah, it's like Jesus. Like I know you want to put them through hard situations so that there's drama, but it goes so far that it's like, oh my god. And everybody who I've spoken to,
you wrote these characters so well. What happened with the plot?
exactly. And everybody who I've spoken to has also seen it. They said the same thing. It's like some of them, it's like the hardship. You know, they have this love that like transcends time and space, and it's like fucking like earth shattering, but their bond is as soft as baby shit. Like, it's just like the tiniest little thing just breaks them off. Like, oh, I'm going away for the summer. Bam. Oh, I'm going to Sweden for a semester. Oh, no. Oh, I have to do a master's program in New York for a single year. Oh, God, what are we going to do? We had everything. But other than like the plotting, so that makes it a little bit hard to follow. But some of the stuff that's like more grounded, more about them growing up, that stuff is really good. The two leads are excellent. The guy especially. I would say he's as a revelatory a performance as like Timothy Chalamet in Call Me by Your Name. Like just a guy who just fucking comes on and you're like, holy shit, like this guy's gonna be around for a while. So yeah, I really liked it. I recommend it. If you're a person who's like plot is the most important thing to you, probably skip it. But if you're just want a good short show, like I said, about 6 hours total. So I did that in a week, maybe a week and some change. Definitely recommend it. And then so I finished that up, and then I started the show Little Fires Everywhere, which is on Hulu, and I think it premiered this year. And it's got Reese Witherspoon, Kerry Washington, and a couple of other actors here and there. And it's about a single mom who moves into this Cleveland suburb, which is Kerry Washington and her daughter. And I'm only 2 episodes in, so it's sort of just setting the table right now. I think it's about 8, and each are an hour, so it ends up being a little bit more than Normal People.
Right.
But same thing. When I told people that I was watching it, I've heard nothing but complimentary things about it. Like, oh, it's so good. Oh, it's one of the best short series I've ever seen. So I'm really excited for it. I like the shows. Reese Witherspoon has been on a bit of a hot streak in terms of short series because she had Big Little Lies a couple years ago, which I really, really, really liked. I thought it's probably one of my favorite short series of all time. At least season 1 is. Season 2 kind of goes off the rails a little bit.
I legitimately don't think I've ever seen anything with Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah. She was in. What about Walk the Line?
Nope.
She was in that.
Wait, what is Walk the Line?
The Johnny Cash biopic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I think I watched bits and pieces of that, but I don't think I ever completely watched it.
What else is she in? She's in Legally Blonde, Sweet Home Alabama.
Yeah, I don't think I've
This is War.
Nah, dog. I'm
Election.
about to go through that because I legit might not have ever seen anything she's in.
Yeah.
That's wild. All right, continue.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah, I mean, the show's good so far. Don't have much of a grip in terms of, like, you know, like, oh, it's amazing because of this or that. But so far so good. And I can say the same thing about Big Little Lies, where it doesn't pick up until everybody sort of knows each other and gets going. But yeah, so those are my two shows so far that I've been watching. So I'm sure I probably won't be done with it by next week, just because I'm sure I'll miss a day here or there watching an episode, just because they are an hour long and I'm only getting started. But I'm excited. I'm hoping to hear good things.
Yeah, I mean, definitely let me know how it is.
Yeah.
Looking at all of the movies she's been in, I've legitimately seen 3.
Ooh, which ones?
4 Christmases, which
I don't
is
think
not.
I've seen that one.
It's not like the best comedy,
Mm-hmm.
but I kind of love Vince Vaughn, and he has one of my favorite quotes in that, which is where like, he ends up being Joseph for like a Christmas play for like Christmas,
Uh-huh.
and at a church, and he like just really gets into it and starts improvising, and Mary is holding like, I don't know if it's a real baby or fake baby, I can't remember, it's been forever, and like I think if anyways he like yells at her, he's like, swaddle that baby, you unfit mother, and it kills me every time. Like the idea of Joseph yelling at Mary, swaddle that baby, you unfit mother. um I've seen Gone Girl, which I don't even remember her in, but was apparently in it.
I think she produced it. I think she was
Okay.
going to be the main character, and then I think she had another project come up, or maybe she thought that she was too big of an actress for it. But I think she's still a producer on it. Yeah.
When I looked it up, it came up on the bottom, and I was like, I don't remember being in it, but I definitely saw that movie.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, I saw This Means War with it.
I mentioned that one earlier. I was like, this means war, maybe, with Tom Hardy and Chris Pine.
Yeah, I saw that. I think that might have actually been the first movie that me and my wife ever watched in a movie theater.
A McG movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But no, I would say the best one that she's been in that's been my favorite, or some of my favorites, are probably Legally Blonde and Election. Those two are great, and I think they both use her great. I mean, she has similar energy in this show as she does in Big Little Lies, which is that sort of suburban mom with 1,000 things going on, and I think
Right.
she sort of has that niche, and I think it fits her for who she is in Legally Blonde and in Election.
Yeah. So real quick, you said McG a couple times, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What is he talking about?" And then it said on IMDb that it was directed by McG.
Yeah.
Yo, who goes by what kind of fucking name is McG, bro?
It's just McG, yeah. He did the Babysitter movies on Netflix, if you've ever seen those when you're flipping through it. And
I
he
have
did
not.
the Charlie's Angels movies like 20 years ago.
Jesus.
And he actually
My man
did.
goes by McG.
That's it. Like Cher. Not even the full name, just McG. Not even McGruber, McGregor.
His name is Joseph McGinty or McGinty Nickel. And that man was like, I'm gonna go professionally McG.
Yep.
Get out of here. So Charlie's Angels, Terminator Salvation, which I think
Full Throttle.
was terrible, right? That was like the worst one.
Yeah, it's just bleak, which is weird. So that movie's weird because all of his other shit is super fucking like poppy and bright, especially the Babysitter and the Charlie's Angels movies. And then he gets Terminator, which is just like, it's 2 hours of just gray, just fucking gray shit.
Okay, I see there's. You know what? Hold on. Might have to bail on that one. Maybe not. I see there's 2 episodes of a Lethal Weapon TV show.
Dude, apparently that was fucking huge. And like, it was like huge, and like one of the Wayans brothers was on it, and I forget what happened. He like got hurt. He had to leave for a reason. I think one of the guys was being racist, or maybe he got hurt. Yeah, I forget what it was, but it was huge on Fox.
So here's the deal. I've never actually seen any of the Lethal Weapon movies. And every time anybody mentions Lethal Weapon, all I can think about is It's Always Sunny.
Always Sunny. I think if you were to talk to people now, that'd be like their their connection back to it as well. It's just like
Right,
Lethal Weapon 4. Yeah. Or Lethal Weapon 5, sorry.
all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch Lethal Weapon 5.
Nice. And so that's my what I've been watching. But then I did want to touch on something that I missed last week,
Right.
which is a suggestion for Halloween for spooky season for October, and it's this YouTube channel called Dead Meat, and they specifically have a series called Kill Count, and what it I mean what the series is, they just go through every week or every other week. They go through, or it's this guy named James. He goes through horror movies and sort of recaps their kills over the course of 20 minutes. And so that sounds kind of like how can I say, kind of niche, or sort of like I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. It sounds off-putting because it's like, oh, you just
Yeah, who wanted to watch 20 minutes of somebody just killing people in a movie?
Right. Right. And that's what I thought. And that's sort of what I thought too when I first saw it. But what it is he just recaps the horror movies in 20 minutes. So it ends up being a really awesome way for people who like horror movies but don't actually like watching them, or who want to watch them but can't because either they just can't watch them, or they're squeamish, or it's just not their thing. So
or they have kids.
Oh, they have kids. Yes. Some of them are uncensored, like they get sponsors, and some of them are YouTube censored.
Right.
So if you're like a 13-year-old and you're like, I want to watch all of these horror movies, but I don't want to have nightmares, you can watch these. Or if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend who's maybe a little bit squeamish, they can watch those. So my girlfriend Sydney and I, we end up watching a bunch of them, even though I've seen the movies for real. But she ends up watching them for like Halloween, both the old and the remake. I Know What You Did Last Summer, the Wreck movies, the zombie ones. We end up watching them, and she enjoys them because that way we can talk about the horror movies, or she can have an understanding of something that's like as huge as the old Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis, the old one.
That's a good call, because that's a good example, because I've never watched any of them, and I'm just like, I don't care enough to like go back and put in time to watch these old ass movies.
Exactly. And they're not even, sometimes they're so old that they're so different in terms of the pace and the story that they're so bordering on inaccessible for somebody who wants to watch them now.
Right. Like realistically, who wants to watch Busta Rhymes kick
yes.
Michael Myers?
That's one. He did that one. Sydney and I watched that episode.
That's the most ridiculous shit.
It's just terrible. God. It was so bad. And so,
but also super on brand for Busta Rhymes.
And then Michael just keeps coming at him. Have you seen that video on YouTube or on Twitter where the little kid he's wearing his grandma's wig and a mask? And
I haven't.
He's got like a wig, and it looks like it's like a French guy. And I'm guessing his sister or his mom who's recording him, he's like, you don't look like Michael Myers. You look like more like Michael Myers. Michael.
That's amazing.
But yes, so I stumbled on this because I remember very precisely what it was. Is that somebody on Twitter said something like that Friday the 13th remake from like 10 years ago, it wasn't very good, but it had some cool Jason scenes. And so I was like, oh, let me check them out because I've never seen the movie. And so I found the channel just totally by accident, and I watched the episode, and I was like, that's actually, it's like good because he recaps the movie, he shows you the kills. So if you're like somebody who enjoys that kind of stuff, you can enjoy that. But then also he provides a nice commentary about the scenes, and he provides behind the scenes information as you're watching it. So you're learning like how they filmed it, who wrote it, sort of just general info about the movies. Super interesting, super awesome. So if you want to watch a horror movie but you don't have the time, or you don't want to actually like watch it fully, but you want to have an understanding of it just to know you've like sort of, you can have a conversation about it.
Right.
I cannot recommend Kill Counts enough. They're entertaining, they're insightful, and you can watch a fucking 2.5 hour movie in 20 minutes and sort of get the gist of what it is.
Gotcha.
I probably, like, if you really want to watch one, probably don't do that. Just watch the movie. But if you like, for example, like for me, like when I went to see the new Halloween a couple years ago, do you remember the one that just came out a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Where she like played like the old version of her, and
yep.
I watched because I knew that they were going to get, it was sort of like a direct sequel to the very first one. They were sort of cleaning the slate. I rewatched the kill count for that one, and it sort of gets you up to date, and you know.
Right.
Yeah.
getting like a quick little synopsis.
Yeah. And my friend Travis and I, we went to see Doctor Sleep when the fuck was that? Doctor Sleep was
What
last October, I think.
what franchise is Doctor Sleep? I don't remember.
It was the sequel to The Shining.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah, and so I was like, hey, like this is a pretty big sequel. This is like it's like a direct sequel. Like I know you don't have the time to watch The Shining because that shit's like 2 hours and 45.
Right.
And so I sent him the link. I sent him the link to The Shining kill count, and I was like, hey, look here, watch it. You and Callum, his girlfriend. I was like, before you guys come watch the movie with me, just watch this, and you will get a gist of what it is.
Right.
Yeah. And
The other thing is that, like, if I remember correctly, I think that like Halloween and Friday the 13th movies, if I'm not mistaken, they're basically owned by Microsoft, because I feel like I remember them having wildly convoluted naming conventions for sequels. Like, I feel like there's like a H2O for Halloween or some shit. Like there's
well, Sydney, when Sydney, she was like, why did they call that one H2O? I was like, Sydney, you see, it came out in 1997, which is 20 years after the first one. So, and she was like,
that's so
and she was
stupid.
Like,
that's so dumb.
I was like, it's pretty. I remember being a kid, right?
And you're like, Wesley.
No, I was like, H2O, that's weird. And then I found out that water is H2O. I was like, oh, that's the Halloween movie. That's why they named it that.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even put that together because, again, I haven't seen any of the Halloween movies. But I know there's something about him drowning in a lake. So that's even better. But then I also feel like I remember... Wait. No, that's not Halloween. That's Friday the 13th. God damn it.
He drowned in the lake. And then, like, even those have weird titles. Like, I think, because, like, one's, like, Friday the 13th,
like, one's like Jason
7.
2000 or some shit like that.
Jason Goes to Hell. And...
It was like a fucking Jason 8001 A Space Odyssey.
Oh, Jason X. Yes, dude. I used to watch Jason X all the time when I was a kid.
You remember Friday the 13th? Or, Nightmare on Elm Street, like Freddy versus Jason. Remember that awful fucking catastrophe of a movie? Boy, that was fucking terrible.
Actually, I used to watch that one all the time, too. I used to watch that and Jason X all the time when I was a kid. I was like, wow, this is the peak of horror.
Oh, boy. Not even close.
Do you remember when that guy, the stoner character, he imagines a Freddy caterpillar?
I don't. What?
He's like they're in an insane asylum trying to get these drugs that'll make them not have dreams. And the stoner character, which of course there has to be,
right?
He falls asleep and he
there's never been a horror movie without someone stoned and also hallucinating and be like, "Hey, dude, bro, you're just high." Like,
and then he sees this fucking worm from like Alice in Wonderland come out from under the door. And he's like, whoa, little guy. And it's got, like, Freddy's face. It's like a CGI Freddy's face. And he's like, what are you doing, bro? And the caterpillar looks behind his back and grabs a giant bong. And he, like, takes a rip of it and just blows the smoke in that dude's face. And he's like, oh, bro, you're so... Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now.
You're watching?
Bro, what the fuck? That's so ridiculous. Oh, man.
I will say, the most of that movie, I will defend it a little bit because... the story that it does to bring them together, you go, that's ridiculous, but then you go, like, all right, it clicks, like, it tracks, right? Like, it's not too out there to bring them together.
I don't even remember what it was, because I watched it, like, once, and I was like, that was goofy.
It was, the basic story is that everybody's forgetting about Freddy, and, he needs fear to be in dreams.
Right.
And the beginning bit, he talks about how he then goes into Jason's dreams, and convinces him that he dresses up he like impersonates his mom and tells him that he has to go to Springfield, I think, or Spring something, wherever Elm Street is, and he has to start killing again because the kids there have been bad. And so then he starts killing people, and then people think that it's Freddy who's come back somehow, and then that spreads the fear, and then they do this thing where it's like if you grab something as you're waking up, you can bring it back into the real world. That's like when it's like, oh, I'll take it.
Okay, buddy.
Okay, but then this girl wakes up and grabs Freddy, and then they have like this fucking fight. But so the most of the movie is just okay, and the deaths are pretty cool. But that fight scene at the end between Freddy and Jason is actually fucking awesome. Because this is like before they did CGI blood, so it's like they got like he stabs the guy and he's just like squirting blood. And like if you're somebody who's a big horror movie fan and you've never seen this fight, dude, watch it because it's kind of pretty sweet and it goes on for a while.
I'll have to go back and watch it because I really don't remember much of it. I just remember thinking this movie's bad.
Yeah. Remember they're in like, I don't know if you remember, they're in like in a construction site and there's like rebar flying. And,
Yeah, I do remember that. Real quick, I just want to see what the Rotten Tomatoes on this bitch is.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say it's like 34.
Okay, I feel like that's high, just based on what I remember. Is it just Freddy versus Jason?
Yeah, just Freddy vs. Jason,
Freddy
2003.
versus Jason. Let's see. Search. See. Yo, okay, 41%.
41%. Okay.
Oh shit. All right. Well, so that might as well be certifiably fresh
For a horror movie. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch that.
Yeah,
I'm
and
gonna waste my time on that.
I'm genuinely surprised. I am surprised and I'm not surprised. I am surprised why they didn't make a sequel because it was actually pretty successful. Like it opened to like 30 mil and it made like 80, which is pretty big for a horror movie.
Right.
And it's pretty big for a horror movie in 2003. Mm-hmm. But then I'm also not surprised because then around that time, like mid 2000s, if you remember, that's when everything was getting the greedy reboot, right?
Right.
Everything. So you got the Halloween with Rob Zombie, got the greedy reboot. I think they eventually did remake Jason, and it was like grittier and he could move fast. And then they did another Nightmare on Elm Street that was like gritty reboot. So I think around 2005, nobody wanted like the kitschy, like poppy, tongue-in-cheek horror. They wanted that.
No one wanted
real,
Busta Rhymes karate kicking
dirty
people
shit,
out a fucking window.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody wanted that. So
I don't think anybody wanted that when that movie came out.
It's like, oh, Busta, what are you doing?
I love that you're on a first name basis with Busta.
Busta, no.
The Busta Bus. The Busta Bus. Kick into the beat.
If you get a chance, watch the kill count for that one because I think he goes into detail as to like why they cast him.
Oh my god, that's amazing! All right, I'm gonna have to watch that. So, but let's hop off of that topic and let's move from Busta Rhymes to songs we wish were longer.
Yeah.
So, so we had talked about this topic or doing this topic, and I, as per usual, waited till kind of the last minute to get my list together. Pulled that bitch together the day before today of our recording, also known as yesterday. Why did I say that? Why did I say the day before today like there's not already a word for it?
A word for it.
Yesterday. So I did it yesterday, and as I was doing it, I came across my own realization, which is that I looked at your list, which had already been done well ahead of time, and all your songs are like 50 seconds, minute 10, minute 30, minute 10. And I started looking up the songs that I thought were too short, just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And they were like 2.5, 3 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
well, no, I mean, like, you could have put those. I mean, I just put these because these are like, I think for the example that I used before, it was Same Time, which is like a minute or something. And I actually had another Rihanna song that is short. It's like 2.5. But I chose this one because I like, if somebody was like, pick one of them has to be longer, I'd be like, the one on my list, you know, like,
yeah.
Like I have enough of the other one, but not enough of this one. So that was kind of my thinking. But
also I had a song that I was like, I remember thinking I wish this one was longer, and it was like 4 minutes, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Because like I don't know what it is, but like when a song is like the 4-minute song I'm thinking of is Heart of a Lion by Kid Cudi. And it's like 4 minutes. But every time that song's over, I'm like, gotta repeat it. Wasn't long enough. And I'm like, what kind of monster am I? Like, is my perfect song length like 8 minutes of just fire? Like, what is wrong with me?
You could have totally put it on the list and been like, all right, my last one, Heart of a Lion. And I'd be like, what? And then you'd have been like, well, let me explain. It should be 8 minutes.
But see, I already have to do that with one because the one I'm going to start with.
Yep. Yeah.
The one I'm going to start with is Bimmer by Tyler, the Creator. And first of all, that song is fucking perfect. And it's fucking a part of one of those 3-song tracks. And the whole song is 7 minutes and 10 seconds, I think, or somewhere around there. Bimmer specifically is like 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
And that's why, okay, so I looked it up on YouTube and I was like, I remember the song, but I was like, why doesn't it come up more often? And you're right, it's because in my iTunes, it's part of the 3-song one, yeah.
Right, it's like Party Isn't Over and Tree Home 95 or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bimmer's the best one, in my opinion. And it's the last one, which sucks, because then I don't want to like just sit and wait through the first two. But that song should be a full 7 minutes and 10 seconds. It should just be the full fucking thing.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite little bits, I told you to like listen to all my songs. I went through and listened to yours, but like I have a small extracurricular bit about some of them, and this one is that I remember. I don't know if I can find it. Probably could, but I'm not even going to search for it. But I feel like I explicitly remember Tyler the Creator tweeting about that song. And it's kind of sing-songy, and like Tyler the Creator, I feel like has experimented with being sing-songy a lot, but he definitely doesn't have like a stereotypical voice for it. Like his voice is very like harsh and deep.
Yeah.
But he said when he wrote this song, he wrote it wanting Justin Bieber to do the vocals. And I was like, I can totally see that. And I don't even really like Justin Bieber that much, but I feel like that would have worked perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got the version we got, but like I can totally see where this whole song was designed around that kind of voice singing this.
Yeah.
So that's just an extracurricular bit about that. But I want that song to be 8 minutes long, and just take the place of the other two. And I also thought that one was gonna be like a minute 10 when I looked it up, and it was like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I was like, God damn.
No, I mean you can't. Like I said, like it just the songs that you wanted to be longer. Like most of mine, I'm like, I guess it's like if I were to pick another song, I'd be like, I want longer. Would be something like a Travis Scott has a song called Guidance.
You're like, I want 3,500 to be longer.
Yeah. Somehow, I
wanted to take 30 minutes long.
There's a Travis Scott song called Guidance, and it has this. He has this like sort of weird sound that he does on the chorus, and he only goes to the chorus twice. It starts it, and there's one chorus, and then he doesn't go back to it again. And I'm always like, God, I wish he would do that chorus again because it sounds unique. It sounds very. He says something like, I found out that you're bad for me. I found out that you had someone, or something like that.
Right.
But it's distorted and it sounds really cool. And I wish he put it in one more time. But that's like one of those things. It's just like a little bit, like an extra 30 seconds that I would have wanted. But all of these on my list are like I wish they would have been like 4 or 5 minutes.
Right. Okay. So what's the first one on your list?
So my first one, just to connect to yours, it is also a Tyler the Creator song. It's "Dropping Seeds" off of Flower Boy from 2017, and it's featuring Lil Wayne. And surprisingly, I know we talked about this 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Lil Wayne does not sound too bad on this. He actually sounds pretty good.
Lil Wayne is not washed.
Yeah.
There's I think one of the top comments on this is like, why is Tyler the Creator the only person that can get a good verse out of Lil Wayne anymore? Because his voice on Smokers is actually pretty good. And then his verse on this is pretty good. And then as we talked about 2 weeks ago, my man's washed and just needs to stop being on songs. Except for apparently Tyler the Creator choice.
Yeah, and so it's a short. It's only I think it's literally just barely a minute.
50 seconds.
Yeah, and it's got a great beat. The whole album's got great beats. But I think this one specifically fits Lil Wayne really well. And I would have loved to have seen maybe one Tyler verse and then maybe like an outro with Lil Wayne. But as it is now, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very solid. I wonder if it's such a good Lil Wayne verse because he's like, look, you only have to put together like 35 seconds.
I'm going to shoot you with adrenaline. It's going to hit your heart in 2 minutes. And you're going to get like a minute of good, like...
Yeah, you're going to get 10 seconds to figure out the... Yeah, you're going to get 10 seconds to figure out the beat, 40 seconds to drop your verse, 10 minutes to come down or 10 seconds to let me finish, and then you're going to be back to just being like passed out, curled up. Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. Yeah. So that I remember, I saw that on the list. I completely forgot that song existed. But you're right. I remember when I was listening to the album because I played the shit out of that album when it came out. Being like, every time it came on, be like, that's really it. Like, they're like, my man Tyler didn't even put a verse on it.
Nope. He was just like, here's like a little nugget, good beat.
Yeah. Good beat is a good point to that I'm going to bring up later in regards to both of our track or song lists. But so my next one, I'm just going to go with the intro to Finally Famous by Big Sean. Yeah. It doesn't go like super hard or anything. It's just like, it's one of those to me that like Big Sean just kind of floats on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he just kind of rides it and he nails it perfectly. And like, considering that we talked about like, and you know what's funny? I don't necessarily know that I felt that way when that album came out. But as I've listened to more Big Sean and that album was like peak Big Sean. But like since then, I'm like, boy, this track is like really good. You know what I mean? Like he really kills it on this track, even though it's just like kind of a slow meandering little track. But it'd have been nice for that to be like a 2.5 minutes instead of just 1.5. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, when I listened to it just now, like I think like an hour ago when you texted me to listen to yours, it's also like one of those where it's like it just takes you right back to when you first listened to it.
Exactly.
I don't know why. But yeah, I like that song and I like that album. I mean, we've talked about it before on here. I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, and he's got one of like, I'm not super crazy about a lot of Big Sean lines, but he says, "I put the city on my back so that way if I fall, I'm crowd surfing the map." I was like, "Yo, that's bars." But yeah, that was like one of the lines. I was like, "What? I can't believe you just said that."
Hell yeah!
In high school. All right, so what's your next song?
My next one is actually Big Sean song, sort of also as well. It's well, it is song. No, it is his. It's the song "Same Time." With Jhené Aiko from the album I Decided, I think. Yeah. I Decided. And it's just like a little bit. And it has this really cool, if you turn up your bass, it has this really cool, like, I don't know what you call like a boom, like a bass drop. Right. Like a deep fucking rumbling shit. I always turn up my bass for it because I think it sounds so cool to start off. And then it's just them singing. And Jhené Aiko sounds great, and it's like this little perfect nugget in that album. And every time I listen to it, I'm like, that sounds so good, and I wish it was just like twice as long.
Right.
But same thing. They both sound good, and I think he sings in it too. And I really should give that album that they had together a chance because and that's what I always think when I listen to that song. I was like, oh, I love this song.
This would have been great in a full album. So
in a full album, if only there was such a thing, right? Like that's yeah. Every single time dude I listen to it, I'm like, wow, somebody should make an album with these two guys together, like the whole way through. Because they have a couple of other songs together. I mean, they're dating, and so. Or they've been on and off the last decade. So I know she's in a couple of his songs, and she's appeared in like a couple of songs that he's also on. And I think they always sound good together. But this is the song where I think they sound the best on, and it sucks that it's so short.
Yeah, it is very short, and I definitely remember thinking that they like kind of harmonize kind of well together. I don't know what it is because I don't know. I'm always iffy just about rappers singing in general. Not because like. I'm just like, no, rappers just bars. But like, I don't know enough about singing, but I feel like sometimes I can tell, like you're singing, but it's not good. Like I can tell this is not good singing. You know what I mean? Like it's working because the beat is behind you, telling you where you should go, basically.
Yeah.
But it sounded really good. Yeah. That also, I was like, maybe I should try and listen to that album. I'm never going to, but it made me think that. So yeah, my next one is going to be. Let's see if I'm looking at my list. I'm gonna go with "Mo Money" by J. Cole, which is an interlude. And it's funny because I think that J. Cole is the most average rapper to ever live. He is not deep. He is not thoughtful. He's not like. Metaphorical, you know what I mean? Like he's not any of these things that people attribute to him.
Did you know that he lost his virginity in high school?
Fuck.
And then he has songs about that.
Yeah, right. And it's just like I don't understand like people that say those kinds of things. You know what I mean? That are like nah, it's just too deep for you. No, it's not. It's all very surface level.
Yeah,
but
I will say I will give him a little bit more credit than you. I do think he's a little bit better, but I am on the boat with you where it's like the people who are like, oh, new Cole just dropped. I don't want to listen to that Future or that the Baby. That is not what I want. I want real hip hop. It's like
they're not open. What's funny though is I think that this song I think this is actually, like, I don't know, there's some lines that strike me as actually being deeper than most of what he raps about in this song. And this song is called Mo Money. Every line ends with money, which one thing I hate is that when people that don't listen to rap music have no understanding of it, they're like, oh, look, he rhymed money with money. No, he didn't. He rhymed the word before. Like, fuck are you talking about? But
the same people say the same thing about Lil Wayne and the N-word.
Right.
Like, he just rhymes everything with the N-word. Like, no, he's rhyming the word before the N-word.
Right, exactly. But like there are some lines in this where it's like I feel like he's giving like very surface level observations of deeper topics, which is the most I've ever seen from J. Cole. You know what I mean? I don't think J. Cole ever is like hitting me with knowledge where I hear it and I'm like, oh my God, I never thought of it that way. I never thought about having a boner in high school. But like there were a couple of these where I was just like, this is like, if he dove deeper into this, I feel like he'd have caught something. But this one straight bars for me. Like I love so much of it. I remember when I listened to this album, I specifically remember thinking like when minute and 10 or minute 15 or whatever came up and it ended, I was like, that's it? This is like one of the best J. Cole songs I've ever heard, and this is it? Like, you're gonna stop it right here? But yeah, so that's one of mine, definitely.
Awesome. Cool.
It's probably gonna be the only time you see J. Cole come up on my list in any of these music lists. But he's on there.
I have had him on one of my lists before. I think I had him
Looking for Trouble, right?
Looking for Trouble, right? Yeah. But yeah,
that's fair. He's also one verse out of like 8, so I think it's 4, but it seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said I just don't like that they're like, he just doesn't have features because he doesn't need them. I'm like, what are you talking about? Features are great in songs, okay?
Right.
The best hip hop songs of all time, albums, or just the ones in the last decade that have been really good, they have features on them, right? There's nothing wrong with having a little bit extra, a little bit of spice, a little variety in your production.
It's like we said. Like I think that people that only produce all their own shit, it just doesn't work. I feel like your sound ends up too stale.
Yeah.
Get an outside perspective, get a feature, you know what I mean? Like any of that stuff. And what's funny is some of my favorite J. Cole verses are from, I think he like kind of recently had a feature on somebody else's song.
A lot? The one on...
Yeah, a lot. And I was like, yo, this is a good J. Cole verse.
Yeah, everybody's got their thing. Oh, or what's the song? She put my whole foot in.
Oh my God! It's like I put a foot up in her mouth. Nah, fuck that song. Get that song out of here, bro. I take it all back. J. Cole features are ass, bro. Ass cheeks.
After he did that, he's like, you know what? Features aren't for me.
That's why he doesn't do features anymore. Yo,
he just has like fucking like whoosh, like Vietnam flashbacks to a plane and a foot in her mouth.
Yeah, he says it's God. What does he say? Oh, he's like, I put it in her mouth so big, it's like a foot is in her mouth. And I'm like, bro, you did not just compare your dick to a foot. Like, that's not, like, what are you doing? Every time that happens, every time that song is on, and my wife is next to me, bro, it's like a foot is in, I literally just stare at the side of her fucking skull until she looks at me, and I'm like, awful. And I just...
He just imagines... foot is in her mouth, and then you hear that Texas Chainsaw Massacre sound I mentioned a couple weeks ago.
Everything goes blurry. It just starts falling. Oh God. Oh boy.
But yeah, so my next one is I'm gonna go with "Wavy" by SZA off of her album Control.
Okay.
And it's super short, and I forget who. I think James Fondele is on it too. Yes, he is. And it's just short, just like a nice little melody in the song. And I just really like this song. I just wish it was longer. It's like it's not anything special to it. It's not like Same Time or, what's the other one I had? Dropping Seeds. It's just like a good song that I like. I just wish it was twice as long because it's like a minute and some change.
Right. So, yeah, I listened to that one. I just don't. I've listened to some SZA songs and like I don't know what I guess might just not be for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People like Tupac. I don't really like much of his shit. It's just it's just not for me. I think. I assume when that many people like something, there has got to be obviously some level of appeal to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it's SZA, I don't understand it. Tupac, I don't understand it. Your presidential preferences, there's one obvious one I don't understand. Take that back, do understand it. Obviously there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
So that's one that has never really landed for me, but I'm sure it's good.
It's like movie. It's like what's the John Wick for me, right?
Right.
Everybody's got something that it's like, wait, I guess like you don't go, what the fuck? You just go, I mean, I get it, but like I don't get it, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Y'all have fun.
Yeah, that's me with Sisters
Um,
music.
yeah.
So yeah. My next one is going to be The Party by Childish Gambino. And what was originally in that spot for me was World Star by Childish Gambino on that same album. And then I looked that one up, and that motherfucker's 2.5 minutes. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with my life. But with that being said, like you said earlier, that song should be 7 minutes. That song is pure hype. It's fucking a banger. But anyways, The Party. It's just like a little interlude, and it kind of just starts with like him just kind of like doing some like little sing-songy, like kind of grooving just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, we go have a party. But then
do you feel like that this is sort of like a taste of what would come with Awaken My Love?
a little
Like,
bit, but
yeah.
I think he pushed it too far with that one because there's a lot of Awaken My Love that I really didn't like. But I can see like the first half of it definitely is that same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But what really pulls it all together for me is he goes off for like 20 seconds maybe at the end, and every time that comes on, I just my head just fucking bobbing off of my shoulders. And once he starts getting after it at the end of that song,
See, I think Childish Gambino says it for me, but only his rapping. And only sometimes. Sometimes his rap sounds really good to me, and then sometimes I'm like, ugh. Every time that, like, for example, like every time I'm in the car with Sydney and a Childish Gambino song comes on, any of them. Tyler?
yeah.
Oh, sorry, it just the Google dropped. Sorry.
Okay,
Anyway, we're listening to it in the car, and his song comes up, and she's like, "Ooh, I like this song." I literally always go, "Casey Anthony," and she's like, "Oh, you're ruining all the songs." I'm like, "Well, I didn't put that line in there."
I don't even hate that line. It's terrible, but I don't hate it.
UCLA, Asian girls.
That
Casey Anthony.
Nah, I don't give a fuck. You See Me is a banger. The beat goes so hard, and I will fight you to death on that. I love Childish Gambino stuff. If I'm being honest, I'm like straight up almost everything he's done.
What's the song on Because the Internet with Chance the Rapper?
Cool Guys?
Cool, Worst Guys.
Worst Guys.
I love that song.
Yeah, that
and
song's amazing.
3005. And I love some of it, and I love Awaken My Love. I don't know, some of the hip hop stuff, it's just weird. Like, it literally is, it might be the beat that goes with it, but like half of it, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. Worst Guys, or favorite song off of Chance the Rapper's mixtape.
Sweatpants?
Sweatpants, yes. Yeah. But then some of them I'm like,
I need you to, you should listen to either Stone Mountain or Royalty and let me know what you think. Because those are very much not like weird eclectic shit that he's doing. Like even
Is it the mixtape?
Yeah, those are both mixtapes.
Yeah. I think I have one of them. Yeah, I have Stone Mountain. I don't think I have the other one.
Okay, so let me know what you think of Stone Mountain, because Stone Mountain is him like rapping over trap beats. Like Atlanta trap beats. So like I wonder how much of it like a weird beat or just like him doing like, because like while I love You See Me, I can see what you're saying where he does like the kind of like weird annoying thing with his voice. And it's kind of funny because I think I got used to it, because I remember the first time I ever heard him was Sean showing me a song called New Prince on like Hot New Hip Hop when it first dropped. And that's like way before even that album that with You See Me. And I was like, this is the worst fucking shit I ever heard in my life. I was like, first of all, my man recorded it in like a linoleum covered room because the quality is terrible. And then like he has the most like whiny voice. And I was like, I can't. I'll literally scratch my eardrums out of my head if you play this again. And then I listened to the Childish Gambino a lot, like as the stuff came, out, and I started to like it more. And then I went back to that song and didn't hate it nearly as much. So there might be a certain quality to his voice that's just fucking awful that I like learned to grow with. And you kind of hear it more in like You See Me and Bonfire, which are the two you mentioned. but like he obviously doesn't do anything like that with like those Atlanta trap beats. You know what I mean? So it'd be cool to see what you think about that. Next Tail Chirp is a straight fucking banger. So definitely listen to that one if nothing else.
I do like the little skit in that mixtape where that radio guy, he's talking. He's like, if you know the members of the twerk team, you get it for free.
Yeah.
If you are a member of the twerk team, you definitely get in for free. Everybody's baby mama's gonna be there.
Yeah. That was like, because I think it's technically a Gangsta Grills tape.
Mm-hmm.
And I was Childish Gambino on a Gangsta Grills tape. What the fuck? Like, what's going on in my life, bro? All right. So enough about Childish Gambino. What is this the last one for you? Or no?
I got two more.
Two more. Okay.
Two more. My next one is "Close to You" by Frank Ocean.
Okay.
And this is off of Blonde 2016, and it sounds a little different than Channel Orange, but it's just him, just him singing, and it's that same sort of beat as everything else in that album. And I just love it. I think I put it as I think four of the songs on this list, their albums made it to my top 10 favorite albums of last decade. And so this is one of them, along with my last one in a little bit. But yeah, so I love this song. I think this is more like SZA, just fucking awesome song that just wish it was like just twice as long. And when it ends, you go, oh, okay.
I can't believe that you don't have Flower Boy in your top 10 albums of the last decade.
I did.
I know. I'm telling you because I know I decided. It's definitely not.
Oh, fuck, man. I mean, no.
Nah, it's not even close, bro. Half that album is a straight fucking skip. Bro, we have shit on Big Sean like 4 or 5 times in 20 episodes.
We love him. Like I love him. Like right? I really like him. I should have told the story last time when we were talking about his album, but I saw him in concert when we did Dreamville last year, 2019, and he was there for a little bit, and they did only like a little show for it. Mm-hmm. And as he was doing his songs, I realized how many of the songs that A, got the crowd most hype, and that B, I recognized and really loved, and they were 66% were him featured on it. They weren't his songs.
Right.
So it was like Click and Mercy and what else? I forget what else, but I was listening to them and I was like these are just songs that you're on. Like you don't have many songs that are yours.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I like Big Sean. I love Big Sean, but this week, yeah, we just shit on him so much.
Yeah, we're like, he can't make an album. Half his songs are skips. We're like, even trash Big Sean isn't fun to listen to. We made fun of just Detroit in general because I said, what's your least favorite rap voice? And I went with Eminem, but you went with Big Sean. Oh, God.
And they're in that fucking song. They're in that, what's it called? There's the one that I mentioned last time where Eminem is like, that's not my eyes.
Oh, the fucking cipher, the 12-minute cipher of all the people from Detroit. Yeah.
But back to Frank. Great song. He sounds awesome. I miss some Frank Ocean in my life, and but yeah, that's my number 4.
Isn't it always weird when someone just fucking drops off the face of the earth like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would rather have him do that. Well, that would also that'll come up with my 5th person. But yeah, I guess I would rather them drop off and not force it than then come out with some shitty thing that was forced on them by the studio or that they needed to do.
Right, absolutely. It's funny though, because like, I don't know. I wonder what the timeline is for Frank Ocean's albums, because I never listened to them, so I can't pinpoint when they came out. Yeah, but, like, I feel like Kendrick Lamar also fell off the face of the earth, but has like still consistently been like in like the lexicon. You know what I mean? Like people still know who he is more than Frank Ocean. I feel like.
Yeah. So, Channel Orange was 2012, and Blonde was 2016. So he's been around. He's like around every 4 years, and then Kendrick was 2012
Damn.
2015
When did Damn
and
come out?
2017.
Okay, so it's a little more recent, but it's still like not that much closer together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what it is. It might just, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It just kind of like popped in my head like that because like he also like in between albums you don't hear shit from him.
No, he's not like Drake, where he's like, now I got this new song with Odell Beckham Jr. and shit.
You know what's always weird to me is when you go and this it's happened to me the most with Kanye just because he's who I have followed the most. Um, but like when you're going through like on Spotify, you're going through an artist's like albums and songs, and then so it like goes through all the feature albums, and then at the bottom it starts going through the singles, and every time I see like singles that I loved, and I'm like, this just never hit an album. What like
Hmm.
why? Why didn't you put this on an album somewhere? Like All Day for Kanye. I love All
Yeah.
Day. The
Hmm.
beat is so good. 4 or 5 seconds I don't think is on an album.
No.
And it's just
No, he
like
just dropped. It's like that was like peak Drake, early 2010s, and I mean, he haven't. I think this year or last year he ended up putting them all together in like a care package
mhm.
album thing. But that's what he did back then. I mean, trophies, we made
Oh,
it,
yeah.
draft
Headlines.
day, the catch up 0 to 100. Uh,
Was Headlines on an album?
yes, it was. Yeah, I was on
Oh,
Take
okay.
Care.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Like all those I do remember you're right. Those like all just kind of dropped and he just didn't
Hmm.
put them to anything.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I guess.
You don't want to say yeah, and then you have to end up, waiting for them to end up on Spotify or whatever. And if you didn't get them download them that first time, you pretty much are stuck with shitty YouTube versions.
Right, or it's just like you forget those like those are such good songs to just like kind of forget about.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I can't remember the last time I heard Trophies. But like it's a fucking banger. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Or We Made It.
yeah, exactly.
Damn it. We made it. Or what's the line? 0 to 100. The catch up.
Right.
No pun intended, but I'm smelling defeat in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, oh.
And that song's just nowhere.
You
Like
don't miss.
if you put every Drake album on your phone, you're still not hearing that song. It's
Yeah.
just such a weird thing.
Even with care package. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, also like Frank Ocean, like you said, as far as like Frank Ocean and Kendrick Lamar straight drop off the face of the earth, like you don't hear shit from them.
Hmm.
Um, your other person that you're gonna get back to that has kind of like not dropped music in a hot fucking minute,
Yeah.
has done the opposite. She has consistently stayed in the public eye and like just been like actively taunting people with music. But
Hmm.
but we'll get to that. But my
Yeah.
last song is "Beach Is Better" by Jay-Z. And "Beach Is Better" has just like such a weird beat. Like it's not like anything I hear Jay-Z on ever. Like
Right.
it
Yep.
sounds like a Kanye beat. I don't know who produced it, but it sounds like it could be on Yeezus.
Yeah.
Um, or like Travis Scott. You know what I mean? Like it's that same kind of just like weird sound to it. But he
Synthy
goes
metal, like metal rap, metal snare trap sound.
right, exactly, and he goes so hard on it. Like it's short. I think it's the only one I have that, if I'm not mistaken, is under a minute.
Hmm.
Um, and I was super disappointed with Magna Carta Holy Grail, and like I heard that song, and I was like, oh shit, this is one, and then it was over, and I was like, God
Hmm.
damn it, like I wanted this one. I was so hyped as it was playing, and then it was just like over, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like now I gotta listen to fucking Justin Timberlake crooning. Ugh, I'm just not trying to do that.
You don't like Fuck With Me, You Know I Got It? I like that
I
one.
mean, I do. I like. There's like 3 or 4 songs on the album I like, but I feel
Hmm.
like the album's pretty long, and to only like
Yeah.
3 or 4 songs on it, it's just like I'm good on this. I will say I had one of my favorite tweets though, which was that like someone someone was saying that like it's a good thing that Jay-Z's not like Nas because Jay-Z would have said would have named it some dumb shit like Magna Carta Holy Grail. 'Cause, uh,
You made it a hot track. I made it a hot. What is it?
yeah, it's like no, you made it a hot line. I made it a hot song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we've talked about this before, but BBC On It.
Yeah.
Um, the channel. Uh, I think you and I have lamented before how we wish it had a harder bass
Right.
because it picks up and it sounds like a Pharrell, which I'm guessing it is. It's a Pharrell or Timbaland beat, and then it just sort of like doesn't hit at all, kind of. And you're
Right.
just like, oh, okay. I wanted it to be like, like fucking like I Like It by Cardi B, where it like hits and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly.
But it never does, and so I think even I remember I think you were the person who also lamented that years and years ago, whenever that album came out.
Yeah, I probably, because when that album came out, I think I still had subs in the back of my car, and so like, you know, subwoofers are like super dope in a car because like if you do it right, the sound quality's great. But
Mm,
then like also I feel like it's just super disappointing. There's just like anytime there's a song with no bass, you're just
yeah.
like, this is just not working out for me. It's like I feel like
Or
it filtered my fucking like music like the shit I listen to because I was just like I'd hear a song and I'd be like, I normally like the song on like a phone or headphones, but I ain't trying to hear this
mm,
shit in my car.
yeah. Or the opposite, where a song hits and you go, "What the fuck?" Like, let's see if you know which one I'm talking about.
All right.
A song that you're listening to and it just hits the bass and you're like, "Where did that come from? What is that?"
I don't. There were a few like that. I remember the one that shocked me the most was
Mm.
"Motivation" by Kelly Rowland. All
Oh
of it,
yes,
the,
yes,
the
that would be
bass
my
in
number
that
two.
song
Yeah.
just fucking destroys. It's like she's just doing her high pitched singing, and all of a sudden the bass just comes in and fucking rattles your trunk off. But I
Mm-hmm.
can't.
Mm-hmm.
What's your first one?
But what I was gonna say is "The Hills" by The Weeknd.
I don't think I ever. I never really listened to The Weeknd. That's another person where I like everyone likes him, and I just don't
Mm.
really listen to your music. But I'm not surprised.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you don't have them in your car anymore, you
No,
said.
eventually they're I'm gonna get some, but right now, no, I do not have any.
Yeah, when you get, I'm trying to think of where you get access to like a bass. I guess maybe just in your regular car, if you turn it up just the bass and you're just in your normal speakers, just
Right.
like your average ones. Um, he's he's singing and then he goes, "I only call you when it's," and you're like, "What the fuck?" Um, it's like the hardest bass that my car has ever had. And my car's like a little Corolla with just like the normal speakers, but it like rattles the back seat, the back window. You just hear, and like, holy shit,
Yeah,
Abel! Like,
it's funny anytime like, cause like since my Lancer that I wrapped around the fucking tree, I haven't had subs in my car, and like every once in a while, and if you've ever changed the speakers in your car, which I'm sure you haven't, but if you've ever done it, the quality difference is insane. Like the stock speakers on your car might as well be made out of fucking paper. Like
mm-hmm,
they're such garbage. And like every once in a while, like a song will come up and it'll just like I feel like the bass will hit like just the right frequency where like all the speakers hit it. And like I've legit been sitting in a car with normal speakers and then been like startled by like the bass that comes like my fucking rear view mirror starts vibrating. I'm like,
uh
what the fuck, bro? I don't even have actual speakers here. What just happened?
huh.
Oh god. Real quick, I want to get speakers because lately the song I've had stuck in my head is "Then Leave." Do you know what song I'm talking about?
No, who's it by?
Uh, it's fucking nobody. It's like on the radio. It's terrible, bro.
Uh
But like at one point for like 13 seconds straight, the bass is just fucking banging. And like I'm like, if I had subs in this, like it'd blow my fucking brains out. Like the bass goes so hard, and the verse is a nonsense. It's like it's he's like, nah, I can't give a hoe none. I can't give a hoe none. She might have. He's like, she might have good head about Sonic slushy, but I can't give her no money. This shit kills me every time, bro. Oh god, but the bass goes so hard. So that's why I want subs in my cars for that song specifically.
Just for that song, yeah.
All right, so what's your last song on your list?
Yeah, my last one is James Joint by Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just one where I'm like, I love the way her voice sounds in it.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a few of these on the album Anti, which is her last album that she had almost no over 4 years ago now. I think it's this one, Goodnight Gotham. What was the other one? There's like she has like two or three on this album that are short, and the one that I mentioned earlier that I wanted it to be longer, that was 2.5, is Consideration with SZA, which opens the album.
Okay.
And she just sounds great, and it's just a fucking moody, cool ass song.
Yeah, I feel like when I listened to this, I was like, I don't even think there's like, in my head, like after it was over, I was like, was there any like background music? It might have literally just been her singing. Like
Yeah.
there was if there was anything behind her singing, it was the most minimal nothingness to be singing over. You know what I mean? And it sounded great. You're right. It sounded amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and so this whole album, like I've said before, top 5 for me. I fucking love this album, but this song is great, and I wish it was just longer.
Yeah. It'd be nice. You know what else you wish was longer? Was Rihanna's musical career. Because apparently it ended in fucking 2016.
2016, she just dropped it. And she, like, throughout the years, she's posted stuff, like, people will be like, drop music, and she'll be like, drop that ugly face or
But then, like, she'll be like she'll taunt, like, you know, upcoming news. And then it was like a book. And I was like,
yeah, she's like, upcoming news. Like, Fenty is getting a baby makeup line. It's like, oh,
that's not what anyone wanted, and you knew it. Like that's the other thing too. Is like she's not telling people there's music and then not dropping it, but she knows anytime she's like upcoming announcement, everyone's like music, and she's like, nah. Like every time she does it, she knows she's shitting on someone's day.
It's like that. Do you remember the Black Bush?
Yeah,
with the Chappelle Show.
Yeah,
he's like when that guy, the black reporter, asks him something, and he's like, "Why you ask me that, man?
Yeah,
I thought you was my brother." All right, I'll answer your stupid ass question.
My favorite part of that, the 2 parts about that skit, one of the best Chappelle skits of all time, is Most Def coming out with the yellow cake.
With the yellow cake with the fucking giant glasses, and some random black guy. Don't drop that shit.
Pray to God you don't drop that shit.
You don't drop that shit.
That guy, also another part of one of my favorite Chappelle Show skits where he just says holla a bunch. Like holla, 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 holla. But
dude, I think that skit, from when it starts to when it ends in 8 minutes, is probably the funniest skit of that show, of comedy.
The Black Bush one?
Yeah,
it's straight.
Dude, it's so good, dude. Every single line is perfect.
I know a lot of people go with the blind KKK member.
The Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah. And that was incredible because it like the fact that he was willing to do that in the very first episode is huge. But
definitely.
But the Black Bush is so perfect. But my favorite part is he goes, oil, bitch, you cooking? And then he fucking smacks the water.
That's such a great gif. Or when he pants to, you want to ask me? Ask Black Tony Blair right here, and then it pants to Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, he's like, we just don't know.
Just don't know what he has. As my colleague so eloquently put it, we don't know what he has.
God.
Oh my! And then God, what's the other part? He's naming off the countries.
Yeah, he's like Stankonia.
Africa been born in the Zulu nation. Radio Rouse.
Oh God.
Japan sending PlayStations.
Oh guys, Japan is sending PlayStations. Oh God, yeah, he's like Africa Bambata in the Zulu nation.
To this day, dude, I go like touching each other's titty balls. So stiff, erect.
Oh no.
If you don't know what we're talking about,
I'm posting this on Twitter.
The most perfect 8 minutes of TV from the Chappelle Show. It is around election time in 2004, and he released this thing if George Bush was black, but it's just him playing George Bush, and it's just 8 minutes of just pure gold.
Oh, God. Oil. It's like, because like, how do you respond?
Sanction me with your army.
He's like,
that's right.
yeah, the United Nations. He's like, you and your army.
Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to get that.
He's trying to get that. God.
It's so good. Like I think the rest of the show is pretty good. I mean, I
it's a
bunch
classic,
of them.
but
Classic, but that
that
skit,
skit
dude,
is top notch.
it's the funniest one.
We just don't know what he
Don't
has.
know what he has, and he's like in a fucking like night pajama with a ascot.
Oh God!
Don't drop that shit.
Pray to God you don't drop
And his
that
voice
shit.
is all gravelly.
Yo,
God,
and he's holding a piece of yellow cake on a napkin, and he's like shaking it like he's about to drop it. You know what I mean? Like he's like shaking it. It's like we found yellow cake. God,
it's so funny.
fucking
You see me? You see me in the land? I was like,
yeah. Also, Chappelle Show. One of the best songs, "The Food" on it. I think it's called "The Food," right? It's Common, Kanye, and I can't remember who else. But that song goes so hard, and it's hard to find. Like the version they do on the show is better than the version that came out officially. It's like it's so hard.
and it's like one of those you just like can't find it like anywhere.
Yes, it's super hard to find. But if you ever find it, it's great. It's old Kanye with his fucking polo and his backpack on, so you're allowed to listen to it. If it was recent, that's a negative, bro. I'm gonna need you to cut that shit out. Cut that shit the fuck off. Oh God! All right.
But those were our 5 songs that we wish were longer. Do you want to skip our third topic? Because I don't really know much about it. We can skip to the last one.
Yeah, let's skip to the last one.
Yeah, we can wrap up the episode talking about Marvel dates that were pushed to 2011. Oh, not 2011. What the fuck?
2011, baby. Woo!
They pushed a bunch of them back, and I think they were probably waiting on, what is it, 9/23, like today, like 9/24, when we're recording. I think they were waiting to see Mulan receipts before they made a move.
And I think they didn't go
if
so
Mulan,
hot.
yeah, I think if Mulan had done gangbusters, I think I mentioned this before on the podcast as well. If it had done really well, they probably would have put Black Widow on VOD for Thanksgiving.
Right.
And they didn't. They moved Black Widow to May 7th of next year.
Yeah, and they bailed on anything going to Disney Plus. They're like, nope, it's all gonna be in theaters, baby.
Which is kind of crazy, and it shows you. It sort of tells you just how shittily Mulan did.
Right.
I do think though that if they would have put it, I think 2 things. One, I think telling people that it was going to be on free on Disney Plus December 4th was a bad idea.
Oh yeah, don't release that info because everyone's like, I think I can wait.
I don't know why they did that. They should have just said buy it, and then you go, when will it be on Disney Plus for free? Oh, at a later date. We'll discuss it later. You don't have to tell people fucking anything.
Right.
You can tell them to fuck off. You'd be like, you already give me $7, give me 30, and then 2 months later, let's say October 15th, you go, Mulan will be free December 4th. And if people bitch, they can bitch. You already have the money. Right?
Exactly.
Or
if people bitch,
maybe
then
you
you can backpedal for your next releases and still make all the money you were going to make on this one. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Or you just go, thank you for giving us all the Mulan money. It'll be available. It was September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months later. What is that? February, I think. Right.
Right.
October, November, December, January, February, March. Yeah, March. Just say 6 months later. Do people not remember that we used to have to wait, like,
right,
forever for shit to come out on DVD
or
on HBO? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know why, as like Disney, you know, like the thing is, you have all the like leverage. Like, no one's going out to watch anything else. You know what I mean? Yes. Everyone's at home. Just everybody wants to watch this.
Yeah, everybody's that Malcolm X with Denzel clip. Brother starving. That's how everybody is. Because it's mentioned in the article that we're looking at, but they released a trailer for WandaVision.
Right.
For the new TV show on Disney Plus,
which I also
with Scarlet Witch and Vision.
I have no urge to watch whatsoever.
Well, they said that it had more views on YouTube than the fucking Super Bowl spot for Endgame.
Oh my god.
So people are fucking starving for content. You have all of the leverage. Don't give these bitches nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't be fucking standing for a goddamn $1 trillion corporation.
Disney, why aren't you making more money?
Disney, please let me lick the boot. Let me just chomp on it, please. But I think I mentioned this on the episode where I talked about Mulan. It's like I gave him money to show them that I'm willing to give money for Black Widow, for A, so I can see it, and B, so we're not forced to have this fucking zombie stumbling out, slow, scattered release that Tenet has been having.
Mm-hmm.
Where people are like, I've seen Tenet, it's great. And then here in North Carolina, I'm like, I don't know if Tenet will even see the light of day here.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I want to or that they should reduce the fucking restrictions on COVID. That's great. What I'm saying is anything that's going to be released until this is over is going to have this like hobo patchwork of theaters, you know?
Exactly. And there's no way you're going to make you're going to make so much less money on it that way.
Yes. And you're going to be spending more because you got to, it costs money to, well, I guess it costs money to put it on the website too, but at least you have control over how much it costs you. It's a set amount.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was just, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I can't believe WandaVision got that. It's the same issue I have with Black Widow, where I'm just like, these characters are concluded to me. Like everything's wrapped up. We are good.
Yeah, but I'm excited for it because I think it's it looks like it's gonna be like a very different thing than they've ever done before.
Yeah, it does seem that. Yeah.
So that's one, is that it looks completely different than anything else, but then also it's the first time Marvel's done a TV show. So I want to know what that looks like. Like, does it look as expensive as the movies? Vision is a CGI creation, about 50%. They use makeup, but he is CGI for a lot of it, or at least a sizable portion of his look. So I'm like, is it gonna look cheap? Is it gonna look good? Mandalorian looks good. Is it gonna look like that? So I am excited for that, and I'm also excited because I think I've heard that she is going to be a big part of Doctor Strange in the multiverse.
Okay.
So whatever happens in this one will probably ring through to that Doctor Strange sequel.
Okay. That adds more interest to it.
Whenever the fuck that comes out, because they pushed everything back.
Yeah, they pushed everything back.
Eternals got pushed back 6 months. Shang-Chi got pushed back 2 months. I think Spider-Man got pushed back a bunch of months. I think they said 2020 is going to be the first year without a Marvel movie in theaters since 2010.
Jesus.
So.
Yeah. I might just be petered out on the whole Marvel thing, which is crazy because I was so into it. But now that Endgame happened, I just have no urge for any of it. You know what I mean? There's nothing pulling me to it.
I do feel it's kind of like a good team season, right? If you are a Chiefs fan and it's March, after you sort of celebrated enough, you go, I don't really want... I mean, you do want Chiefs football because there isn't football, but you go, that's finished. The season ended, the story's over, and I think you need that sort of hype up again. You need that, the preseason and the week one, and to get get you invested back in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think right now we're just...
Right now, we don't have that for, whatever reasons. The just general atmosphere and environment right now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I think that's the episode, guys. Talked about a bunch of nonsense. Boy, the songs we wish were longer, we really just kind of fucking ended up everywhere. We ended it by talking about Chappelle Show. Don't feel bad about it. That shit was fire. So if you want to catch me, you can catch me at TMoneybags on Instagram and Twitter.
And I'm at Evercastro92 on Instagram.
And if you want to email us directly, you can catch us at differentanimalspodcast@gmail.com, or you can follow the page at diffanimalspod on Instagram and Twitter.
Oh, dude, sorry, I'm looking at this article, and they still have the James Bond movie for November 20th? That's not gonna happen.
What?
Yeah. Oh, dude, also, I was thinking about it. Do you remember when all this shit was going down back in March? The one movie that said, nah, fuck all this, and jumped to 2021, do you know what it was?
I don't. What was it?
Fast 9.
Oh, see, it knew. It was
what
now
did Vin Diesel know? And when did he know it? Because, dude, I remember very vividly. They were like, nope, not Memorial Day. We'll do Memorial Day 2021. Good night, y'all. See ya. And James Bond was like, let's do July. Let's do August. Let's do like literally every other movie.
And then Tenet was like only in theaters.
Only in theaters. Wear a fucking hazmat suit. But Vin Diesel was like, I know it's not gonna take forever to get out of this.
He was doing his best Batman tryout.
He knew something. Although it makes sense. I think more than any other franchise.
They really just need people to come out in mass. Well, nobody's gonna be watching the next Fast and Furious and be like, "It's a real marvel. You need to go see it."
What I was gonna say is that I think more than any other franchise, I don't think there's any other franchise that is more dependent on international box office than the Fast and Furious. If you look at the box office split for the last one, Furious 8. I mean, I think the movie either made $1 billion or was close to $1 billion. But let me see if I can look it up real quick. The portion that was domestic, it made a $1.2 billion worldwide, right?
Uh-huh.
The domestic percentage of that was 18.
Jesus,
Usually it's about 33 to 66.
Woo!
Usually
I had no idea.
Yeah, dude, there are huge internationally. It is like one of only the, I would say, I think, let me see if I can find this real quick. It made $1 billion like outside of the U.S.
Jesus.
So like, that's why when it happened, I was like, I guess it kind of makes sense because, like I said, no other movie has made is so dependent on worldwide shit as Fast and Furious.
That's nuts. I didn't even know that. I'm not surprised. Because if nothing else, I was gonna say the Fast and Furious series is about cars, which it's totally not anymore. But it's just straight up action, and I guess to some degree, it originated in vehicle culture. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
and that's kind of always been a thing everywhere. So it doesn't surprise me that has a lot of international, buzz and legs overseas. But yeah, no, they were like deuces, we're out of this bitch. I'm out.
Yeah, they weren't gonna. They were like, you see what's going on in China and Europe's gonna get fucked.
We ain't fucking with this paycheck, baby. We'll just hold off. Oh God. All right. Well, yeah. So, that's the episode.
Yep. Stay safe, guys.
Stay safe. Spread the word as much as you can. Let anybody know. Let everybody know. We definitely appreciate it. And if you have any feedback, definitely let us know.
Yep.
Stay safe, stay entertained, and we'll catch y'all next week.
See you guys.
Peace. Oh.
Yep.
I'm foregoing my Kanye quote this week to simply say that we generally don't talk about politics too much on here because we both have extremely similar views. So it's just going to I don't know. I like us having different views and having conversations about stuff without us just banging a dead topic that, we both just agree on forever.
Yeah.
But I will say, please just vote. Get out, vote as best you can. Try and vote early. Just whatever you can do, please get out and vote.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important. There's a lot at stake. Just please, do what you can to vote. There's a reason as much as people say, your vote doesn't matter, blah, blah, blah. There's a reason they try extremely hard to make it difficult to vote. And it's because it does matter.
Yeah.
So please get out and vote.
Yeah. I'm guessing most of you are in North Carolina. You can, I think you can request your absentee ballot. Early voting starts October 15th.
That sounds right.
I believe.
And this will be dropping probably right around
that time. So you can still request your ballots, your early ballots. You can go in person early. But please vote.
Yeah, absolutely. And aside from just the presidential election, look at your local officials.
Yeah.
All very important. So get out and vote, guys. Yes. I guess in the words of P. Diddy, vote or die, motherfucker, vote or die. Peace.
See you.